up, Jack? You want new in? Just got to a place called Bamberg in Berlin yesterday, and yeah, it was a little bit of a long trek. I didn't realize how bad that transportation is in Germany now. It's absolutely terrible now. Everything, all buses are late, all trains are late. Every single thing just pushes you back by like 3-4 hours now. I don't get it. I don't get it, frankly, but yeah, a little bit of a disaster going on in this country, but that's besides the case. Before I end up getting kicked out of the EU for saying something I shouldn't have, I just want to say welcome, crew. So just a few minor details I just want to go over. The first one is that this will end up being the last weekly sales expo for free members inside of the Remote Sales 101 community. This is now going to turn into 2 weekly sales expos, but only for those that are inside of the Remote Savage Access, as well as those that are in an upcoming program called the Remote Savage Accelerator as well. So I just want to make a quick announcement on that too. The Remote Savage Access is getting a little bit of a tune-up because Skool just announced a day or two ago that they have started freemium and also priced tiers. And what that means for you guys is that the remote sales 101 community, it will still be free to be able to join, but you'll only be able to have access for now to the remote sales blueprint, since we've already had, I think, over 80 testimonials with the remote sales blueprint in and of itself, which is pretty wild. And so that will still be able to remain free, as well as the remote lifestyles program will still be free. And also all call recordings from the weekly sales expo will be available to those that are in the free community. So you guys will always have full access to that from here on in. But questions, Q&As are only going to be reserved now for those that are joining up with the Remote Savage Access, which will be a tiered community inside of this, inside of the Remote Sales 101 Skool group. So it's going to be, I'm not too sure on the pricing that I'm going to be doing quite yet for tiers, because it's still relatively new. It was kind of like a 180 from about a day or two ago, which is a good change. And it's actually a very pleasant surprise. But with that being said, inside of the new and revamped Savage Access inside of this community, you're going to be able to get complete access to all of the paid programs inside, other than the top tier mentorship, which will only be reserved to those that are inside of the Savage Accelerator, which Carlos, Joshua, and Ethan are all members of. So they'll get a lot more premium access and more one-on-one time as well. But the Savage Access, you will be opening up for Q&As, and I think that they will also be getting a little bit more in-depth group calls too in the future. But I just need to work out a little bit of logistics with it. But yeah, I'm really excited for this upcoming change because of the results that we've been getting, and those that take this really seriously and those that have gotten some of the best results are those that are in not only the Savage Access, but are going to be getting grandfathered into the Savage Accelerator. So this will be the final weekly sales expos for those that are in the free community, which I can see here no one's taking advantage of. That's one of the reasons why I'm cutting it out as well, because those that do end up coming on to these calls that are in the free community, they're kind of just time wasters, and I don't really want to help time wasters at the end of the day either anymore, because it's just a waste of time, not only my time, but their time too. So with that being said as well, I just want to give some shout outs too for a few members inside of the Remote Sales 101 community and also inside of the Remote Savage Access. First one is Ethan. Ethan, congratulations. I think you're now you're almost at $80,000 contracted this month with your new client. Whoa. Slow down there. I see you're on Davie Street. Slow down there, bucko.
This is a way better view than Davie Street, bro.
Are you sure about that? I do link celebrities in the basement sometimes, but only on Tuesdays.
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say fucking Tuesdays, but that's so funny. We're always on the same level. I was like, only Tuesdays, bro. Come on.
For those that don't know, it's the most famous gay club in Vancouver, and on Tuesdays is their straight night.
Oh wow!
What are you at? 80,000 now? Like, what's the dealio?
We had our first person hang up and block us when he went through payment yesterday. So, dude, it took 3.5 weeks for somebody to do that, which That would happen once a day when you and I were working on the same offer. So they're like, hey, he messages lead. He's not getting back to me. He said the payment went through. I was like, yeah, no, he blocked us. He's a pussy. And they're like, oh, okay.
I want numbers, dude. I don't care about pussies. I want fucking numbers from you.
72.
72 still? No, you're almost at 80, bro. It's like almost like a month in, and it's your brand new offer. That's freaking nuts, though. Absolutely. What is it, like uphill to your place or whatever?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Huh. Looks nice, though. That looks nice. That looks nice.
It's getting way too hot
Carlos,
here, but I won't complain.
Right? Carlos, you know that view, right?
If it's the lake, no, I don't. If it's in Antigua, maybe. Depends on where he is. I think it's in the lake, right, Ethan?
Sí, hermano. Yeah, me quedo en San Marcos ahorita.
Yeah, I've never been.
But that's awesome, dude. All right, so you got 72,000 in what, like 3.5 weeks or so converted for. It's a brand new offer you're on, right?
3.5 weeks. We changed our closer. Went on vacation as soon as we got hot. He brought in his friend who has experience, and he got his first call was one-on-one was 100% a 5K PIF, and then his second two, one of the guy he blocked us. The second guy is supposed to pay another 4.5K this week, and so it was like I trust you, and I was like, come on, bro, like why the fuck did you do that? Come on, like you let him go. You're like, bro, I'm 45 years old. Of course I'll call and pay you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, he's never fucking paying us.
Oh God, what a disaster! But hey, that's why they need more Savage access and Savage members a part of that team, right? That's what they probably need. They probably need some good fucking people on.
I mean, I appreciate the shout out, man, but I gotta appreciate you for not letting me put up with BS. Because at first I was like, okay, this is fine, and then hey, it was my own fault for being misunderstanding when it came to the commission structure. Like that, I completely thought it was the same how you and I used to do it when we worked. And like when you had the closers and I had the setters, I thought it was the exact same, and then it was the exact opposite of that. So like, yeah, I was losing like 67% commission, which is, guys, don't fucking ever do that. Like, don't ever. And so you're right, man. I have most of the control now. I appreciate you, dude. And so I'm just taking it day by day. Like, it's not even about just like holding my cards, because again, like the guy I'm contracted with, he's right there with me, dude. He's pissed off every single day. I'm like, hey, bro, what's going on? He's like, dude, like, he has the same demeanor as Laszlo. And so it's just like, yeah, he's just like, yo, I'm on it. I'm going to try and do what I can. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's see what I can fucking do, man. So.
Oh, exactly, dude. Well, that's the whole thing. You got to know your value at the end of the day. I know your value, and dude, you have a lot more leeway than you think when you make someone almost $100,000 when you just met them a month ago. You're gonna have pretty big leeway when you already put them on pace for pretty much like 7 figures in a year, just in and of itself with your work, right?
And I'm not being professional enough. That's the first thing he said to me too.
Yeah, well, you're not being professional enough, but you've only made the guy like almost 3x more than what he's used to making in a single month. But hey, fuck you, right?
34.5K collected.
Yeah, fuck you, right?
First thing after that call, dude, 2 weeks ago, we had the 5K PIF on the recording. Go watch it if you haven't already. Literally 20 minutes after we hung up, guys, he was just like, yeah, great work, but it was like, you did great work, but essay. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? I just made you fucking how much money? Like, what is this shit?
Ungrateful people. But dude, like even because what you mentioned, Ethan, to me was like, oh yeah, you're getting like the set commission levels, like it's all going to be good. If I actually knew how much commission you were going to get for that, I would have told you to tell them to go fuck themselves. First thing, but you didn't even know.
Nope. No, that was entirely my fault, bro. Entirely my fault, because the way that we articulated it on the onboarding, I explained exactly what Laszlo and I did when you and I worked on the same offer. You were with the closers, I was with the setters. I broke down exactly how we would do the commission, and they're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're on the same page. 2 weeks later, we're at 42K, like within 2 weeks or something. And they're like, oh, by the way, no, it's 67% less than what we thought. And I was like, yo, hold on, bro. Hold the fuck on, bro. Like, what?
Yeah. So whatever, man. It's live and let alone, and you have a lot more leeway than you think, especially when you make someone almost 6 figures after you only met them a month ago. So, but yeah, that's the first shout out over to Ethan for that one. So big fucking shout out for a brand new offer, facing a lot of that bullshit that was in your way too. Like fuck them, pretty much. But just make them a shit ton of money and just what I always mention, dude, is you have to keep recording the process, because if you make pretty much almost 100K worth of sets for a brand new offer and they underpaid you, dude, your next gig, you're going to be overpaid for it. So always remember that at the end of the day, what you put in is what you get out. Even though you might not get it out right away, it's going to happen eventually too. So good job, bro. Like literally a fucking fantastic job on that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
And another couple shout outs that I want to do too. First one for Isaiah as well for getting the 101 remote objections playbook, and he's already started to get interviews for a couple gigs, which is pretty nuts. From when I last heard from Isaiah, Isaiah came in from TikTok. He joined in through a TikTok live, and he literally joined the community while I was on TikTok live, and he ended up getting the 101 remote objections playbook. And after he got the playbook, he already started getting interviews, which is pretty nuts to be able to see. And another shout out as well to Aaron, who also got the 101 objectives playbook before the price increase. So congrats to you, Aaron, for that. And both Isaiah and Aaron, I haven't mentioned it to them yet, but they will be grandfathered inside of the Savage Access, as they have gotten the playbook for it. It's going to be an automatic upgrade for them. So I have to still message both of them, but I don't see both of them here because I think it's first thing in the morning for both of them. So I'm going to hit your guys' messages up that you guys are watching. I'll hit up your DMs. You're going to get an automatic upgrade since you already got the 101 objections package. And I want to do another shout out for Timothy, who's just joined the Savage Access, who's going to get an automatic upgrade to the Savage Accelerator. He really wanted to be a part of that, especially over the next year or two. He's been super engaged inside of the Remote Sales 101 community, and he pulled the trigger to join the Savage Access before November 1st, because if you guys join up right on November 1st, is going to be the last day. It's going to be the final day to be able to join up with the old investments of the remote Savage Access in order to get access to the accelerator, which is going to be a huge program. I'm super excited for that one. I'm just finishing off a short tutorial for the what's called a VSL, video sales letter, for that one, which really goes into detail a lot of the results that we've had all together. I'm really, really fucking stoked for those members that are already in the Savage Access who's going to get that upgrade to the accelerator. You guys came in early. I'm going to honor you guys for coming in early, and I'm really fucking excited for what's going to transpire just afterwards. Once November, at least like maybe 1 or 2 weeks into November, then I'm going to be able to have the first modules start to come out for the Savage Access. I'm now here in Bamberg for about a week or so. If the weather gets really shitty, then you guys are going to get it much, much sooner as well, because it's a very beautiful area. And it's nice to be able to walk around and explore. But Germany, and same with Canada, and same with other northern and western parts of Europe at this time of the year, weather has just gotten really, really shitty. Today was like the first sunny day that I've had in maybe just over a week or so since coming to Germany. So it's just going out and exploring from there. But yes, congrats to all those members. Isaiah, Aaron, you guys are going to get an automatic upgrade to the Savage Access once after the November 1st deadline hits. And then Timothy, since he's joined up with the Savage Access before the November 1st midnight deadline, he's going to get an automatic upgrade to the Savage Accelerator. So just as a reminder, if you're on the fence, it's going to be jumping up. It's going to be jumping up incredibly in price. It's going to be jumping up. I think it's like nearly 12,000% or so increase from what the Savage Access is to the Savage Accelerator. So I'm really, really excited for those that are inside of the Savage Access already, because there's going to be a lot more one-on-one times. There's going to be a lot more in-depth action and a lot more in-depth tutorials. And I'm really fucking stoked for it. But crew, now let's bring it over to you guys. This is going to be the final Q&A for the free community. Since you guys are all going to be members of the Savage Accelerator, you guys will have more time with me too. But you guys are showing up because you guys take this seriously, and I'm here to honor you guys and be of service to those that take us seriously too. So let's start out with Carlos. Welcome, brother. Fire away. What's any questions on the top of your mind, and how's progress with your current gig? Because I know that you're getting some mixed signals after your first month.
Yeah, sure. So maybe starting with the updates, there's been no closes so far. There have been 5 closes, but they have all been from ads. I do see an improvement in the DM to call booked rate, because in September it was basically 1.7. Now it's about 3.5, so that's definitely good.
Yeah.
And But the thing is that these people don't close, and I don't know what to do with that because that's not even my jurisdiction.
Because how many calls have you booked then? And when you book calls, they go to a triager, correct?
Yes, that's the triager, and that has a 60% show up rate. So I'm going to see my notes here. So this month there were, just focusing on October 1 to now, there were 40 booked calls, and let's say 60% of them showed up.
Okay.
By
So roughly
40,
around like, I don't know, like
20,
28 or 29 showed up, right?
yeah. Just let me Google it. 24, yeah, 24, 60% of 40 is 24. And yeah, none have closed. That's the thing. And I have been getting
So
some.
out of those 24, just sorry to cut you off there. So out of those 24, how many moved on to a closing call?
Let's see. I have this sheet here. TC show up rate. So it seems that it's again 60%. So let's see.
So 60% of 24, right?
14.
Okay. So like 13, 14? Yeah, 14. Okay. So 14 got scheduled for a closing call. What was the show? Is it like 50% show up rate from them?
No, that's the people that showed up for the call. Yeah.
Oh, those are the people that
54%.
showed up to the closing call. So it was
Yep.
so I'm confused now. So it's 24 people that showed up to the triage, and then did he schedule all of them to a closing call or only 14 of them?
Only 14.
So out of those 14 that got scheduled onto a closing call, how many showed up?
Okay, so that says show up rate to the sales call. That one's 85. And what did I say? 14, right? 14 by
Yeah. So 80 is going to be like
85%.
11 or 12.
Yeah, 12.
12, and none of them closed.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's a closer's problem then.
Yep. I agree.
That's a closing problem. Like that's not your fault. That's a closing's problem. Tell them to get in contact with me and I will fucking fix their closing problem.
Sure.
Like it's literally a closing problem. So if 12 people show up to a call, like was there any reasons or so? Because that's a high show up rate. 80% show up rate from after a triage, that's a pretty high show up rate.
I haven't
really
asked,
good.
being honest. I haven't asked. I would have to ask them.
No, because there should be like, is there any sort of updates that the closer gives on why they didn't end up pulling the trigger?
No, not to me. Maybe to a triager, but
What
not to
the
me.
fuck? Dude, you need to know that information. We've talked about this. You need to know that information because then you can then follow up with the leads and maybe even convert them yourself in the DMs. Because if you know the reason why they didn't close, it's either you've gone through the one-on-one remote objections. There's only 3 reasons someone's not going to close. It's because it's a money issue, which is the easiest objection to overcome. Because you could do payment plans, you can do like a deposits, you could do all that sort of stuff. It's literally easy. They can find credit. That people are resourceful if they really want something. That's the easiest one. Another one is that they don't actually believe that the product is going to help them or serve them. So they don't see the value there. So if they don't see the value there, then the closer is not giving proper information over to the buyer, the prospect, or so. They don't have the right information. And if they don't have the right information in order to make an educated decision, then it's the closer or the presentation or something's going wrong there. And that's just the presentation portion. But 80% of all sales that don't end up going through is just due to one thing and one thing only. Do you know what that is, Carlos?
I don't know. Trust, maybe?
It is trust, but also with it, it's that they don't believe that the person either on the closing call or the person that is doing the offer, it has their best interest. So it is believability for the close. So it's pretty much, it's very similar to trust, what you mentioned, but something is missing there. And most of the time that's missing, and it's because the discovery portion of the call. So when the closer does the discovery, they do an intro, they ask them like, hey, what's the problem or so with where the call's going. At the beginning of the call, But once they move on to the end portion during the discovery, that's the most important portion of the call. That's going to be the trust portion of the call and extracting pain points from it and why they want to go from point A to point B and what's that missing gap in between. So if they are not closing because of a trust issue and believability, then that's on the closer because they're not doing a proper discovery with it. So I would just, for yourself, because 12 people showing up to calls, like it's hard enough to get people to even show up to a closing call, let alone 12 people show up. They go through the presentation and then they don't end up closing. You need to figure out like why each of those people didn't close so that you can follow up with them properly. Either the triager or yourself can follow up with them properly and try to salvage the sale. Because sometimes people just don't buy the first time that they talk to people. Like Ethan will tell you, sometimes I will tell Ethan the reason why someone didn't close. Then we'll start mentioning it to them. And then they end up coming back either onto a call or they go through the payment link right then and there. And because sometimes people just don't close, like on the closing call, there could be something off with me. There could be something off with like something very deep inside of them. Something happened, like something triggered them in some portion of the call. And it's mostly the closer's fault because they didn't do a proper discovery. So that for yourself, like 12 people like that, and none of them closed, that's not good because I saw the closing rate that you did earlier and the closing rate was there with the amount of calls. There just wasn't enough volume, but now you have the volume going in there. Out of those 12 calls, at least like 30% should have closed. 25 to 30% should have closed. The average close rate, like just for a bare average closer, is 20% of people that show up to calls. So you should have had at least 3 closes in there, like minimum 3 closes. So I would just ask them, like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't they close? Not quite like my phrasing, because I'm more aggressive with it because it's not my offer and I'm not working for them. So I could be a little bit more aggressive with it. But you need to figure out like the reason why each of those people that's your money, bro. That's literally your money. They don't give a fuck. Like the closer could be having a bad day. They could want to go on vacation. They could have already found a different gig. You have no idea. But those are your people that you work to get on a triage call. Need to have a little bit more urgency to figure out why they didn't close, like, oh, what was the reason? And then once you know what the reason was, which 101 objections, dude, you can go through each of those and see why they didn't want to close. And then you can use the 101 remote objections playbook, dude, to get them back onto a call or even make the sale yourself. You make the sale yourself in DMs. I've seen it before, dude. I've done it myself as well, where the closer fucks up. But then I get them back on through one of the tactics inside of the 101 remote objections playbook. I get them back on and I get the sale myself because they don't get the commission anymore because they fucked up the call. They don't get the commission. You're going to end up getting the commission if you end up getting the close through there. So figure out why they didn't close. And then from there, go through the 101 remote objections playbook, go and find out which of those portions that they ended up mentioning from those 3 that we talked about, and then try to convert it. But you need to figure out why they didn't close all 12 of them, because 12 closing calls and no closes, dude. Like, that's your money, bro. You have to remember, like, it's commission based. Like, you get paid if you get closes. You have to remember that. You only make money if they close, and you need to figure out if it's a closing issue. Because if it's a closing issue, there's nothing that you can do with the closer. You're going to have to close them yourself in the DMs then.
Okay.
That's the big thing.
I will ask them for sure.
Yeah. Because that's the big thing, dude. Like, literally, I'm not here to like shit on you or anything like that. But you have to remember that that's the problem with a commission-based gig, is that you need to figure out why they didn't end up closing, because it's your money at the end of the day. Because 3 closes, like if 3 of those people came through, like how much money is that for you?
Depends, because let's say an average of 10,000 close, because that's like the best one that the average one. That's 3%. That's like what, 300. That's, let's say, 1,000. If 3 people had closed,
it's $1,000, dude, and that's like $1,000. 3 DMs.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 messages. Like, is 3 messages worth $1,000 for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You just have to break it down a little bit like that. And sometimes you may have to have a little bit of uncomfortable conversations, but at the same time, dude, it's your money. It's your livelihood as well at the end of the day, because that's $1,000. Like what's an extra $1,000 going to be able to do for you right now?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So like, just figure out why they didn't close, and then get the reason from the closer, and then just ask those people who didn't convert, because that's why timing is so critical for it. That's why I tell all the setters that I've worked with, if I'm closing, why they didn't close right away. Ethan can tell you, I as soon as I hop off a call and they didn't end up converting, or they needed like figures out some money issues or something like that, I let the setters know right away. I even let the setters know when they close so that they can reach out to them and say congrats and make them feel really good about their decision as well. The communication needs to be there too. But like I mentioned, figure out why they didn't close, because the sooner that they get off a call, the longer that it takes for them after any sort of communication or close, the shorter amount of time is that you're going to be able to close them. Like if you don't message them until a full day later, they're going to forget 90% of what was talked about on the call just the day before. People are not going to remember. Like that's just like even though it might be the most like important call of their life, they're not going to remember 90% of it. So the fresher they are, the easier it is going to be for you to be able to convert them. So that's the big thing. Yeah. From takeaway. Was I able to kind of point you in the right direction there?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome,
That's it.
bro. Awesome. Well, hey, fucking get that, dude, because that's your money, dude. That's $1,000 right there. 3 out of 12 of those people. If you can convert 3 of those people, dude, that's $1,000 for you.
Yes. We'll
Fuck yeah, dude. But fuck yeah, you're doing killer, dude. If you're getting 12 people on the closing call, what was that in about 2 or 3 weeks?
4 weeks ever since October 1 up to now.
Yeah,
4 weeks.
Yeah. So, but you booked more people in a month though. You booked over 40. You went from 33 to over 40. So you're improving.
Yeah, I'd say it's getting better, and that's the whole thing. That's why I'm so frustrated, because I'm not saying that my work is perfect, but I'm doing good work and I don't see the results, and I just don't see the point. That's the thing.
Yeah, man.
I get it,
But it's
bro.
also a weird time, dude. It's a weird time right now with people. Like my fucking old like astrology crypto coach, I was just talking to him yesterday because I want him to come on to the Savage Access, and I want him to come on to the Savage Accelerator to talk with you guys too, because he's a fucking beauty. He changed my life like 6-7 years ago. He messaged me and he told me, he's like, dude, it's been weird. People have been weird the last like 4, 5, 6 days or so. And he was going on about Mercury retrograde, all this fucking shit. And I'm like, you know what? People have been fucking weird the last 4 or 5 days or so. It's from that. It's from that over the last week to 10 days. But I'm going to get him to come on and chat with you guys probably in November, December, because he's a fucking beauty. He knows all these fucking charts when people are moody, because it's super helpful for you guys to understand too and use that to your advantage. Not to use it as an excuse, but to use it for an advantage as well. If people are a little bit more moody, or it's fucking Scorpio season, or it's fucking all this weird astrology stuff, you can use it to your advantage. And one of the big things that he taught me was, Evan, look at all the relationships that you had with women throughout your life. When were they born? Which dates were they born? All of them were born almost relatively the same time, in the same part of the year, only like 3 or 4 different types of the year. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that was the first exercise they made me do. He made me go on Facebook and look up all the birthdays of all the women that I've ever been interested in or had relationships with. And they all had the same similar birthday, which fucking blew my brain. It blew my brain, because I'm like, oh my God, it's a repetitive platforms, but it's not something to only focus on 100%. It's something just to keep on the back of your mind. It's like the Myers-Briggs test. It's your 4 letters. It's something just to keep in the back of your mind, so that you either know your tendencies and you know what to work on to. But yeah, Carlos, like amazing. Like, dude, I do want to give a props. Like over 40 calls booked from the 33 that you did the month before. Give yourself props for it, even though the money's not coming in, but also at the same time, more urgency in there, especially when you're communicating with your team. Because if someone's dropping the ball on your team, you need to fucking be on them. Like, don't be too nice to people. Remember, they're your coworkers. They're not your friends. Like, yes. Your livelihood is also in their hands too. So yeah, just remember that. But yeah, good job, dude, on getting more people converted onto calls though. All right, Mr. Joshua, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Nothing much is going on. Been having my notebook.
How's the rib?
Still broken. I've been doing notes yesterday. I had about 25 people I reached out to as far as for offer stuff. A lot of people are super sketchy, so I just make
in one day. You did 25 in one day?
Yeah. So what I did is I have like little, like, you know how map keys are? You have like triangles, your little circles. I just did that, so I write down all these names, and if the offer looks sketchy to begin with, I'll just like start jotting those next to the names, know if like they're fully worth it.
I'm
Actually, I
going
had
to
an
get you
interview.
guys too. I'm going to get you guys a spreadsheet now in the accelerator so we can put all those names down as well too. I'm going to be adding that. That's something that's a new note for me. For you guys, you guys can put that in there so that other new members and people in the accelerator will see those names and never contact anyone.
Yeah, no, there's some red flags in the community alone. I remember you saying about that.
Mhm.
So what I've just been doing as far as that is just looking out. I actually had someone reschedule a meeting today for 10 a.m. I was like, all right, sounds great. They like asked me like hour 30 minutes, like an hour to 30 minutes prior to the interview if I'm still good to go. Then hit me up 10 minutes prior. I was like, oh, we have to reschedule. It's a little, I don't know. It's a little weird. Probably not going to follow through with them because that's unprofessional. I want to find people that are good enough. And overall, yeah, just been having fun. Carlos sent me something called, I think, repselect.io. I don't know if you're familiar. It's
Yeah,
like
it's whatchamacallit. It's
it's
Cole's
like the
thing, but
LinkedIn.
I don't really agree with all that Cole teaches though. At all. And I think that the company is almost like too big sometimes. And the problem with going with an agency, like I've mentioned before, the problem with going to an agency is that you're kind of at the realm of a lot of their own reps, and a lot of them are idiots, dude. Most of them are all idiots. They don't remember who you are. They will forget about you after 1 week because there's just so many new people trying to find gigs all the time that they're just so easily distracted. It's not necessarily their fault, but like it's a little bit harder to get something through an agency, and they just want you to kind of pay for their like application in order to get placements and such like that most of the time. But you can use them for a few offers here and there, but you're competing with a lot of big amount of people and a huge selection, but they just forget about people after like a week or so.
Yeah, I was just gonna do it just to switch it up a little bit because I've been doing a lot of Facebook outreach, and I tried doing what you're doing for the get started. A lot of those people are a little weird. So I was
Mhm.
looking at that. A
Oh,
lot of them like,
for the YouTube.
yeah, I tried reaching out to them via Instagram, and a lot of them have like messages turned off, so you can't send them a message. As far as like, I don't know what it is, and I'll try to
You got to
email them.
do Instagram, LinkedIn. You got to do email. You got to do it on a few different platforms, not just one single platform.
Yeah,
It's a few different platforms if you're
I'm
doing to
looking
get
at
started.
LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's it's a pretty good place. It's just super. It's a different format to me, so I don't know exactly. I know what I'm looking for. I just don't know how to look for it. If that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
And I also did a. I'm doing this. I don't know if I have an interview, but I did an application for a fitness offer for some guy with like 30,000 followers. So it's like, this fits me perfectly. Like, I don't only have the experience in sales, but I also have experience in fitness. So it's
Good.
two and two together. Other than yeah, everything's been all good. How's everything been for you?
Oh, fantastic, bro. Fantastic. I'm setting up. I'm in Bamberg, bro. I'm setting up. I'm chilling, building a whole bunch of stuff for you guys in the accelerator currently. I'm finishing up editing for my VSL for new members to come into the accelerator, whole new programming, all that sort of stuff. Tiers with Skool, like I mentioned at the start of this call, kind of been a game changer. It's kind of flipped things 180 a little bit, but it makes me way happier because I can have everything all focused on one platform instead of using a whole bunch of different payment platforms and stuff. So I'm excited, bro. Really, really excited. But yeah, with you, dude, the main thing with you, dude, is remaining consistent with it. Because if you do the 25 one day, you do the 25 again, another 25, another 25. Remember, you got to do it for 2 weeks, 5 days a week. You can do it for 10 days in a row, but I usually like to do it separated because people have lives as well. And it's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour to sift through a lot of that and then respond to people. So it's going to be like an hour and a half of your time a day just to kind of like find a role and find something that's going to work out for you. But when you do 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, exactly what Mitchell did. But Mitchell only did it for 4 days. He did it for 4 days and landed again. Did it
Yeah,
for 4 days, and I tell you guys to do it for 10 because then you have a little bit more abundance for it. But some people need the money right away. Everyone's in different situations, different circumstances. I get it, but for the highest rate of success, you do it for Monday to Friday. Then you have the weekend, go do your own thing, have a refresher. Then you do it another Monday to Friday, and you can even do some interviews during that second week from that first week as well. Then you can make a decision on who you want to be able to work with because you should be getting at least 4 to 5 different offers from legit companies. You should be getting around 4 to 5 legit offers from legit companies by reaching out to a minimum of 250 different offers. as well. Because like you mentioned, like a lot of the stuff on Facebook now, 90% is bullshit now. It's such a shame just to be able to see that, but 90% is all bullshit. But 10% is still a diamond in the rough. That's where I've been able to get, I think, 2 6-figure gigs, 2 6-figure commission gigs were from Facebook. And that was only like a couple years ago or so. That wasn't even that long ago. So there is a lot of BS that's on there. But as soon as you kind of have an eye for it, you're going to skip over those and then only start to do offers and reach out to people that actually look a lot more legit, because you're going to be able to realize that in your first 2 to 3 days of doing outreach. Hey, this wording's kind of similar. I'm not going to reach out to this one. I'm going to do the next one, because you only get that with more reps. As soon as you get more and more reps, it's going to help you out immensely, dude. But awesome. I'm happy that you got that one day through. Let's keep going hard with it. You can even do it on your weekend as well, because sometimes people post on the weekends too. But go hard with that today and tomorrow. But are you back at school yet or no?
No, I'm still like, I can walk around, but I just can't carry shit. And since the rib is like around right here, I don't even want to walk around with a backpack to experience that. So that's probably be very tormenting.
Yeah.
But back to the outreach. Yeah, no, I mean, on the weekends, that's no problem. I could probably do 50 on the weekend if I wanted to per day. Yesterday, I invested way more time than I should have. I'm not going to lie. Put probably 5 hours to make sure each offer I went into was legitimate, and research their companies to make sure that, like, I wasn't getting, like, thrown into some random ass website where I'm trying to buy something. All right, I have one name down for this guy named Mike Barron. You've definitely heard of him. He's like some entrepreneur with some big following, but like I feel like, as funny as it sounds, I feel like he just like runs like a pyramid scheme. He just has people come in.
Mike O'Hearn or who? Who?
Barron, Barron. All his offer is that he just gets people in to train for him, and then he gets those people.
Is he a Filipino dude or what?
Yeah, he kind of looks like so. I don't know. He's a huge red flag from everywhere I've seen, because every single time that someone reaches out to me, is like, oh, it's a magnificent offer. I think it's just a pyramid scheme, in my opinion, because you just get drafted in and you try to do an appointment setter for other people. That it's like a circle. I don't know what he does.
Yeah, it's like the first thing I do when I type in his name is scam comes out after. So he's on Scam Risk, Inside Closer. Let's see, Mike Barron, Scam Risk. Yeah, probably not, dude. If it's a whole bunch of red flags for it, because this is stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he's still going at it too. So
yeah, he has a huge following from it too. So I think he literally just runs circles around people, and he drafts people in to pay for his program, get trained, work for him to do the same thing.
Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, no, don't do that, dude. No. That's why, like. That's why with you guys, like, it's only training that I do, you guys. You guys don't get any offers or job opportunities, like, to work with me. Absolutely not, because that's called a circle jerk, bro. That is a coach that coaches coaches to coach coaches, but it's a trainer who trains people just to train under him, to work under him. That's what Shelby Sapp does. That's what Brad Lee does. That's what Ty Lopez does. And I'm going to be doing some exposés on a lot of those on my social media coming up, because I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing this bullshit everywhere. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with those over the next few days. But yeah, dude, if you see that, like, when you do your proper research like that, like avoid, because they're just going to try to close you for training, and it's closing you to it's like university, bro. It's the ultimate scam of university. What I had to go through, I paid $15,000 for university. I'm lucky, I'm in Canada, so I paid $15,000 for a trade school university program so that I can go work for a multi-billion-dollar corporation for free for a month, and then get hired after working for them for a month to work for minimum wage afterwards. It's a fucking scam. And it's the same thing that a lot of these coaches and a lot of these trainers end up doing. It's the same university scam, but without it being authentic from a university too. So it's all the same bullshit, same regurgitated bullshit, but just be wary of that. I'm happy that you're able to see that, but keep pushing, keep doing those 25, because when you mentioned that you did it for 5 hours, like, that's a long time. But today, when you do it, you now know a lot more what you're going to look for. Try to keep it under an hour though. You should only be doing it for an hour.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, it was also 5 hours because I was doing my college essay in the midst. I'm not going to college.
You're doing a bunch of fucking things. Don't say that you're doing 5 hours on one thing when you're doing 18 things at once.
But, like, you know what it would do? It would throw me off track, and I'd sit there and be like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing?
Because you're getting distracted, bro. And then you get shiny objects. You're getting distracted. No, just focus on one thing. If you just do the one thing for an hour, Like you did your essay as well as this for 5 hours. If you just focused 1 hour on the essay, you would have gotten the essay done in an hour. And if you just focused on this for an hour, you would have gotten it done in an hour too. And that would have saved you 3 hours right there.
Yeah, well, there's difference. I don't want to fucking do that essay, but I really want
Well,
to.
you gotta fucking do it anyway. You're in fucking school, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta
I
fucking do
know.
it. You gotta do shit that you don't want to do. That's the whole
course.
point of school, is that you gotta do shit that you don't want to do, and then you realize what you don't want to do, and then you never fucking do it again afterwards.
Hell yeah, but yeah,
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
So,
And
just doing that.
Fuck yeah, bro. Well, dude, awesome. I'm happy to hear that you're taking action, you're doing that day by day, and you're learning a lot more about that, so that it's gonna save you a bunch of time, dude. But remember, focus on one thing at a time. Remember, you're 17, you're full of testosterone, your muscles are bigger than my thighs. Remember that, dude. You remember to stay focused and just focus on one thing at a time, dude. But great questions, bro. Have fun doing the outreach. I want to see you have a few interviews by this time next week.
Oh, yeah, I already do.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right, Ethan. Any questions for you, Bucko?
I wanted to add, Josh, not everyone has like ridiculous energy like I do. And again, like Evan said, you're 17, bro. I get it. I had the same work ethic, and I still kind of do, honestly. Concentrate as much as you can. If you've heard of the Pomodoro, which means tomato in Italian, it's like you work 20 minutes on and take a 10-minute break, and you do that for an hour, and then you can take a longer break. Try that. But like, focus on one thing at a time.
Shout out to the Italians from Sicily.
Mi piace molto
He's from
l'italiano.
Jersey,
Yeah, of
bro.
course.
He's from Jersey. He's neighbors with Mr. Soprano.
Oh, I got an installment on the call about 10 minutes ago, by the way. That just came in. So
Ooh, close. How much? How much you got, bro?
no, he just put it in another 500 to get to the 1,000 deposit to be able to be let in. And now, one thing I like about this offer is they have a deadline, and so they basically set deadlines for people to say, because if they're like, oh, I will pay the rest, like, okay, you have this amount of date, or else you're like more not kicked out. I don't want to say, but basically it's like you have this amount of date
We're
to
keeping
go
your
forward.
deposit. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, más o menos, bro. Like, and so that's 1,000 collected now, and then the next 4K is due in 7 days. Yeah.
Let's go, bro. I love to
So
see that. Awesome.
I think I'm good, man. I think you've already told me. I don't want to take too much more of your time about just like what to do, and so like I'm just gonna see how it is the rest of this week here into the weekend into next week. Because if like a week goes by and the guy that I'm working for, who also wants more money because he's renegotiating for himself too, if nothing changes and we keep fucking making this go, and especially if I get to 100K before a month, like the month is over, bro. Like, come on. Like it is not unreasonable for me to be asking for way more. So no, I think I'm good, man. No, I appreciate you as always.
A wave. And Mr. Neil Gandhi, it's nice to see you. I feel like it's been a century.
You're muted, bro.
It's
Yes, you
been
are.
300, 400 years, Mr. Neil Gandhi.
Here,
He
he's
fell
no, his
asleep.
phone's ready.
You fell asleep, bro.
Yeah, you're still mute. No, he's still muted. Here, there you go. There you go. All right.
There he is.
Okay.
What's going on, dude? Look how beautiful you look, man. The sun is
Thank you, dude.
shining, looking lovely. Look at that shit.
Look at that view. Look at that
Look,
view.
you almost have as much muscle as Joshua now. That's awesome.
No, I'm skinny as fuck right now. Ethan's lifting a lot heavier than me, but I'm okay with that. I've been living on a farm for a month, and so life has been very different to what I've been used to. I'm in Guatemala at the lake with Ethan now in San Marcos. I was at the Mystical Yoga Farm, which is a yoga retreat center, and I was there as a volunteer for a month. And I'll be going back in 3 weeks as a work trader, taking over their YouTube and creating content for them. And I'll be doing that for myself as well, for my personal brand. And so I'm in an interesting position where financially, I don't have this sense of deep urgency to get a job and have money, because there is some sense of comfort and cushion. And also going back to the farm, although I won't be getting paid as any money coming in, all my expenses are covered, and so I'll essentially be saving 1,500 US to 2,000 US a month, working at the farm and just putting 30 hours in as the content creator. And so I'm like, can I fit in a sales job? It would be a lot, but I can see that as a reality if Vinay, who's the guy on Instagram that I shared regarding his offer, he replied and he said he can create a separate account so that I don't have to use my personal account. I need more information from him as to what the offer is and what are the time requirements, especially for that. But it's also like one foot in having a sales job and another foot in doing exactly what it is that I want to be doing, which is my expressing my creativity. I'm super into music now. I'm writing poetry. I have a lot of ideas into content ideas that I want to create for my own personal YouTube page. And these are the things that I want to be doing. Like when I have the money from sales or whatever venture I step into, the ultimate goal is to be doing what it is that I'm doing right now. And so I'm just like, am I thinking too much with my mind in the sense that I need money right now when I'm
I
already
think you
doing
guys
what
are both
the
a bunch of
end goal
fucking
is for me?
shapeshifters, and you guys are both
Um,
shapeshifting right now between each
are you
other.
saying
That's what I think
something?
is going
Because I
on.
can't hear you.
Yes, you guys are a bunch of
Oh, it's because
shapeshifters.
it's. Hold on. Wait, why can't I hear anything from here? You're
Because
not
his
even connected.
headphones are connected.
Because Skool is retarded like that sometimes.
I
Is he
can't
on
hear it.
multiple
Yeah, I know.
tabs? Is that why?
Dude, no,
All right, I'll
Skool's
use the.
ridiculous. It's okay.
Okay, no, you can
Now you
speak,
can
Evan.
hear. I was just saying you guys were shapeshifting. That's all. You're going between Neil, then Ethan and Neil. That's what I was all. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was all saying. But anywho, brother, like that's awesome that you had a lot of those opportunities and you still have those opportunities. That is absolutely stellar. That's absolutely amazing. Congrats on that one. Give yourself a big pat on the back because I know how hard a lot of the stuff that's been going on with life with yourself is. And that's fucking incredible, dude. That you've had a lot of these different opportunities. But something to always keep in mind, especially when you're starting a personal brand too. The biggest thing with a personal brand is to understand sales and what goes into sales. That's the biggest thing with the personal brand in order to get conversions, get people through. So my big recommendation, since you're doing a bunch of different things at once, find something that's part-time because there's a lot of appointment setting and there's a lot of like triage gigs that you could do part-time, like say 4 hours a day. Heck, you could even push it to 6 hours a day. In all honesty, you could do like 2 or 3 hours in the morning, 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon or in the evening, whatever the time zones kind of allow for it, just so that you can be a little bit more comfortable with it. Because when you jump onto an offer, you're learning from other people as well. That's one of the best things about jumping into an offer is finding out and getting a paid mentorship. Like you're getting paid to learn from that individual, but also to find out about their systems too. It's not like you're going to steal their systems, but it's a lot easier to figure things out from a personal brand standpoint by jumping into someone else's offer, seeing what they're doing, seeing how they're converting, how they're conversing with people as well, seeing how their SOPs are, seeing how they treat their staff, how many staff are there, running through some numbers as well. Because unless you're doing, especially for personal branding stuff, unless you're doing consistently $25,000 to $35,000 per month, doing a personal brand, it's very fucking hard to get your foot off the ground unless you are already working with someone who's making above that $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 per month consistently, because that's going to be the best way that you're going to be able to learn. Unless you want to drop on a personal branding course like I did with Iman Gaji, I dropped like 4K into a personal branding course with Iman Gaji. Unless you have the funds to be able to do that, my biggest recommendation is to go in either as like an appointment setter, doing it part-time, appointment setting, or as a triager, doing it part-time, like a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours later on the day. You understand their system. Stick around for about 3 to 6 months or so. You may even enjoy the offer. You may even like the people that you work with. You may even be getting a lot more value out of it intellectually than the money that you'll end up doing it, so that you're going to be able to progress way more over the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years down the line as well. Do you kind of understand where I'm going with it?
Yeah, totally. I think that's really sound advice. With the farm and the structure of their business, there is already a lot that I'm learning in terms of how I can implement that on myself. But in terms of getting a personal brand online, I know it's very different to what I'll be managing as a sort of brand that the farm is. And so,
And
yeah, I
it's a
think I
little
took
bit
inspiration
different than a
earlier from
faceless.
what you were saying and what Joshua was saying as well, in
Yeah.
terms of spending a bit more time that I have for the next 2 weeks while I'm not at the farm, because there's no internet there and the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
connectivity is
Yeah.
very limited as well sometimes. Um, But while I'm here, just utilizing the time to really scope out a few more offers that can allow me to work part time based on my criteria and my requirements. And I'm in a place where I don't need to pretend to be in an abundant mindset. Like I am very much in an abundant mindset, and I can have that luxury of being super picky and spending a bit more time finding the right offer. Uh, but I think getting something part time absolutely makes sense, and I can see that fitting well with whatever it is that I'm creating for myself. The momentum's really high, and things are changing very quickly. I'm changing very quickly, and so um, I'm doing my best to stay in the flow. But I'm also wary of not overthinking things, which is something I do a lot, and just want to channel all the energy that happens up here into the heart and do what I love. And I know sales is something that I um, can develop to be very good at. I can very much see that, and I'm around you and I'm around Ethan all the time, and so I literally couldn't be blessed with better people to support me and guide me through all of this. And so I'm very grateful for you. I'm going to take on all the advice and um,
Take
reply to
action,
Vinay,
bro.
but also find some more
You
part-time
need to
opportunities.
You need to take action, bro. That's the biggest thing with yourself. It's shiny object syndrome. You need to be able to hone in, sit down in one spot, focus on one thing only. There's a lot of different things that all happen, especially with new opportunities, jumping into the farm, helping out with their socials, doing all of that. But you need to stay focused. It's like what I mentioned to Josh a little bit earlier on. He's doing between his essay, doing like trying to apply for gigs. And he went from a 2-hour task, 1 hour doing his essay, 1 hour doing the outreach. That ended up being 5 hours because he kept switching back and forth between everything. And it just like, it makes your brain all fuzzy. It happens with me too. You have to sit down, focus on one thing only, and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to spend 5 straight days. I'm going to do outreach for 5 days in a row, 25 different offers per day. I'm going to go for 3 to 4 interviews because it's a little bit harder to get something part-time because a lot of people, they want people in there for full-time, 8-hour days. But if you're good with your KPIs and you consistently utilize the community as well to ask questions, to figure out like, hey, what's the best way to jump people onto calls? Those 8 hours that they recommend, if you hit your KPIs, you can get it done in 3 and 4 hours. Ethan can get done his KPIs down in 2 or 3 hours, what someone can typically do in 8 hours. But that's because he just sits down and focuses on one thing. Except sometimes he gets distracted with Instagram Reels sometimes. But if he sits down and focuses on one thing and one thing only, he gets it done very quickly. But the problem with what Ethan's offer is that it's on Instagram. So it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's designed to fucking fuck around with your brain the whole time. It's the same thing that's going to happen with the personal brand and YouTube, especially with the new offer. When you hop onto YouTube, you're going to be distracted with all of these different videos that you want to go on. Like, oh, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. Oh, I'm going to have this video on in the background. Then it just distracts you because it's meant to distract you because it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation that just wants your energy, this wants your eyeballs, and it just wants the advertising money from you. So when you sit down and focus on one thing and one thing only, I think you're going to see a lot more success, dude. Because the last time when you started doing outreach, I think you did it for how many days in a row before going out to the farm? Like 2 or 3 days in a row?
No.
Yeah, dude, it's 10 days. It's 10 days and you're able to find an offer. And then you already got like maybe 1 or 2 interviews from that too. Imagine if you just sat down and just did it for 10 days in a row. The amount of opportunities that you can get, you probably will get yourself. You're a good looking, personal guy, great personality. You speak very well. You're very articulate. It's going to be very easy for you. You already separate yourself from 95% of the competition out there. It's just the focus portion. That's all. It's just the focus, sitting down, getting the work done, even though it's simple, but it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but it's simple. That's the thing. It's very simple. You just have to stay honed and stay focused on one thing. Master that because, dude, the amount of opportunities that you will be able to get in the future, not only for other offers, if you sit down and focus on one, either appointment setting or triage get, because someone's going to give you a triage opportunity, dude. You're very articulate. You're very good. You're very, very good on the call. Good looking dude as well. No homo, but good looking dude as well. It's easy on the eyes. People are going to be able to convert to that. And you also have an advantage. You have a British accent as well. You got a British accent. It's a huge advantage, dude. And it's a very big, like, for a previous offer that I worked on, there was a guy that just had a British accent. He wasn't even that good at closing, but people just closed with them because he was British. And Americans just fall for that all the fucking time. He wasn't even that good at closing. But because he had a British accent and he sounded confident on the phone, which you also sound confident on the phone too, but the problem is the distractions are everywhere. Everyone's trying to steal your energy all over the place. You just have to tell everyone to fuck off, focus on one thing only, and get really good with that one thing, because that one thing, either appointment setting or triaging, when you do it for 3 to 6 months consistently, it's not only going to open up opportunities for you to be able to record yourself, document the journey, but it's also going to store that information within yourself so that you can then teeter that into a personal brand once you're already making 15, 20, 25K per month as a sales professional. Too many people want to start doing personal brands. Too many people want to start doing all this sort of stuff without actually figuring out all the logistics first. But the easiest way to figure out the logistics first, dude, is by hopping onto an offer, seeing what they're doing, being a part of their process for a little bit, and seeing what they're like, not only during the good times, but what happens during the bad times and the low months and how they react to it too. That's where you're going to take away and learn way, way more than by trying to figure things out yourself too. Was I able to kind of like point that in the right direction?
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's good, dude. But dude, like honestly, man, like you're fucking like it's just the focus thing. If you focus in on one thing only, dude, you're gonna be able to fucking land a like better gig than probably what Ethan just found. You'll probably be able to find a better one just by seeking out those new opportunities and willing to learn. And you probably will jump into a better opportunity than Ethan, because Ethan is using an agency when you don't even have to fucking use an agency. I never used an agency. And I ended up getting multiple different six-figure per year commission roles because it's about confidence, personality on the phone as well. And it's not utilizing a crutch of an agency, which Ethan and I, we've already had this discussion before. And I've told him this many times that he doesn't fucking need an agency. He already has all the results there. He can make a shit ton more money, but I think the agency's holding it back. But that's just me. That's like, I can only say so much, and he can either take the advice, don't take the advice, but that's completely up to him. But remaining comfortable, like you mentioned before, that comfortable state, it's only going to last for so long. If you're comfortable, it only lasts for so long. We're not meant to be comfortable. Unless you're doing like 6 figures a month, you're not going to be comfortable. The more money that you end up making, the more that you want to seek the uncomfortableness, because that's how the room for growth is going to start to go up, is by being more and more uncomfortable. You're only going to be able to grow when you get more and more uncomfortable. But yeah, dude, like back to basics, just focus on one thing. And then once you focus on those one things, then you can add like, hey, I did my 25, 30 outreaches today. I'm going to be having a whole bunch of interviews this next week. Then you can show off the YouTube and stuff like that as well. But dude, send over the YouTube, send over their personal brand inside of the Savage Access WhatsApp community. I would love to check it out too and see and be able to help out, because I used to do a lot of that stuff like 7, 8, 9 years ago. I got hired to do social media for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, bro. So it may be able to figure out a thing or two. I was head of all their YouTubes, all their Facebook, all their social media channels, all before their Instagram, of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So I may be able to point you in the right direction for a few things there if they're just getting started with the farm stuff. But dude, share all that, share the progress, and always ask questions in the Savage Access. But it's good to see you again, dude. It's literally good to see you again.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. It's great to be back.
Awesome, man. Joshua, I saw that you're raising your hand up a few times, but dude, it's been an hour. I gotta fucking hop off. I have a call with members that's out in Luxembourg that I need to be able to talk to. I also haven't talked to my parents in 3 or 4 weeks, so I gotta fucking talk with them as well. But guys, I'm fucking super stoked for you guys. I'm excited because the accelerator is going to be coming out very shortly. The first module should be coming out hopefully in the next like couple of weeks or so. I really want to get that done for you guys, but it depends on the weather. If the weather's shitty, comes out sooner. If it's not as shitty, I need to have that balance out there, because I'm only going to get so much sunshine while I'm in Germany for X amount of time. So I got to be able to soak it in as much as possible. I'm not like in fucking Guatemala, where I see the sunlight all the time for you two motherfuckers, fucking shape-shifting motherfuckers over there. Look, they shape-shifted again. It went from Ethan back to Neil, Neil to Ethan. Fucking garbage. But anyway, crew, this is the last weekly sales expo for the free community. Such a shame that none of them hopped onto it, but that's why I'm not fucking doing it anymore for them. The Savage Access is only going to get the Q&As from now on, and the weekly sales expo is only going to be available in recording form for the free community from now on, as I start implementing tiers and that I start doing the big upgrade for those that are currently in the Savage Access, and then upgrading just afterwards. So guys, wish you guys a great rest of your day. Fucking nail it this week. Neil, I want to see a bunch of interviews done. Same with you, Joshua. I want to see you guys on a bunch of interviews this next week. And Ethan, push it to 100K, bro. Push it to 100K. Let's fucking get it, guys.
100K, brother. It's good to see you as always, man. Take care, eh? See you, Josh.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Take care, everybody.